When I was 11 years old, I witnessed something that defined my life. I saw a man, he had to be in his 70s, inside of a dumpster searching for food. I don't remember much about that moment other than the feeling in my chest and asking myself, what can I do to help him? That moment opened up a realization that everyone matters, we're here to serve each other, and no one should go through this life alone. Although too young to fully grasp it, that moment birthed my passion. I am a servant of people. I've lived that passion out loud. I've served as a Haiti missionary, served many nonprofits and schools and young people. I even used my technology skills to serve by opening a business out of my garage. I focused on small businesses and nonprofits that big tech wouldn't take on, and also residents of assisted living facilities. I built that business for 21 years before I sold it. But while I was building externally, I was battling internally. You see, for most of my life, I've struggled with low self-esteem, shame, and self-doubt. The kind that screams, you're not enough, you never amount to anything big, nobody cares. But I stand before you today because I refused to let that negative noise define me. I'm Brian Scott, and I don't speak about living transformation. In theory, I have lived it, and I'm still living it. And I'm honored to share my story with you today. 6 years after finding my passion, I found my dream. In USA for Africa, we are the world. Watching all those people from different facets of entertainment come together to serve an entire continent, that woke up my passion, and I wanted to do that. I wanted to bring people together to serve those in need in a big way. And then I got a visitor. Who is it? Self-doubt. What do you want? Who are you to do anything like that? You're not Harry Belafonte or Kenny Rogers, Quincy Jones. You can't inspire massive action in people. Anybody feel me? Self-doubt ever talked you out of a dream? I could not act on my dream because the negative noise of self-doubt had me under its control. And self-doubt did a number on me. I mean, got in my head and took me to a very low place, which crashed in substance abuse. I spent 6 years in that space. I lost my job. They repossessed my car. I had to move several times. Not even going to talk about what it did to my family life. It was rough. Then one day I had a mirror moment. I'm abusing my substance in front of a mirror and I catch my eye, which has happened before, but this time it was more of a gaze. And I hear a voice say, "Is this who you are?" Now I wish I could say that was the end of the substance abuse, but it wasn't. I continued on, did many episodes after that. But the question persisted and it got louder. And as it got louder, the high became less enjoyable. And as the high became less enjoyable, getting high just seemed dumb. And then at that point, I was able to quit. Now, when I say quit, I mean cold turkey quit. No withdrawals, no relapses, no assistance. Completely unheard of for someone who was in it as deep as I was. And then, who is it? Self-doubt again. I brought my cousin, Shane. rather than acknowledging the miraculous triumph that I just had, these rascals convinced me that I should be ashamed of it. Absolute miracle, and I couldn't even acknowledge it. Shortly thereafter, I had my first doctor's appointment in 6 years. My doc says, "Hey, haven't seen you in a while. What you been up to?" I told her. She was like, "Whoa, well, we need to run some tests because that stuff will do a number on your body." Okay. I run the tests. They all come back clean. She's like, "So how long did you do this?" I told her. "And how did you quit?" I told her. She said, "You've got something powerful in you. If you can do that, you can do anything." And at that moment, I heard her over my internal negative noise. I actually felt what Les Brown says to us, that I had something special in me. I had built a little bit of confidence. But then what? That confidence didn't mean that the next steps were going to be easy or even clear. And shame and self-doubt were still there, screaming their messages of unworthiness. I felt like I was in a cage. I was trapped. But here's what I did to get out of that cage. First, I changed my environment. One of my favorite quotes is that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. I started looking for people who shared my passion of serving. And they found me. Because another favorite quote of mine is the 13th century poet named Rumi, who says, "When you begin to walk the way appears." My tribe of people who shared my passion appeared. And they helped me change my habits and my focus that had me trapped. Next, I acknowledged myself and my accomplishments, not with arrogance, but with the recognition and realization that I had just done something big. When my doc told me that I had something powerful in me, I believed her and started to believe in myself. Next, I got to work in my passion, serving people. My tribe showed me a lot of opportunities to serve, and I took them. And I started living my passion out loud. Finally, I enjoyed the fruits of my labor, embraced the joy of working and living in purpose. And here's what happened as a result of that. 20 years later, 20 years after watching We Are the World as a 17-year-old boy with big dreams and even bigger doubts, I was asked to lead a team of people to serve 1 million folks in need in 1 year. My We Are the World. And we did it. And here's the crazy thing. You know what I didn't hear when I was working on that project? No doubt, no shame, no negative noise at all. They were completely silent. Because here's what I realized, and I want to leave this with you. Living your passion will silence the internal negative noise. Write that down. Living your passion will silence your internal negative noise. But the story doesn't end there. A few years later, I'm volunteering at a food bank. How about the food bank is distributing food from our Million Meals Project? I am literally handing out food, that I helped create to people in need. Can you imagine that? And here's what I realized in that moment. I had become the answer to an 11-year-old boy's prayer. You see, that kid whose heart broke when he saw that man in the dumpster, he made a choice to do something. And decades later, despite all that I had been through, I was able to accomplish my dream and see it in action. You see, your negative noise, your doubt, your shame, and your past, they don't have the final say. You do. So here's my question. Are you in a cage? What has you trapped? And how would it feel if you could kick that door open and live your passion? Because 20 years from now, you could be standing exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you were born to do, giving hope to an 11-year-old's passion, encouraging a 17-year-old's dream, or showing an overcomer an example of what is possible. Your past does not define you. Your passion does. Live it out loud and silence the noise.